Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So our first speaker is a Harrier jump jet pilot. He has flown Harrier jump jets all around the world, including in forces that he's led operations in both Iraq and Afghanistan. But he's here really to talk to us about the Red Arrows. He has been Red 1. He led the team, and he's going to tell us about hiring the right person, how the Red Arrows do it. I'm delighted to introduce Andy Offer.
Very good morning, everybody. When we look at hiring the right person, it's very, very difficult. It's very difficult. It doesn't matter what specialisation you're in, it's difficult to do it for a number of reasons. As we educate more and more of our people, okay, we are dumbing down to see where the top is. It's difficult to disseminate between what is really good and what's really bad. So it makes it difficult for us. It's around the peripheral. It's what else is important, okay, about that person in whatever specialisation that can make a difference. To hire the right people, in my view, there are a set of quantifiable attributes which are the standard attributes, they have the right qualifications, are they experienced enough, etc., etc. But the thing I really focus on now is I focus on the more difficult areas to quantify, which is interpersonal skills. Are they malleable? Are they the right person to fit into the ethos of my company? And those are much more difficult attributes to quantify, but they're the ones that we should focus on.
When you've got the right people with the right skills who spot the risk, who are not surprised by it even though it is unexpected. It's all about who you select and how you train them and the ethos and values you give them. As a senior leader and manager, my job is to sort of create an environment that they can thrive in and make sure that I am their advocates and I get them resources and I bring in learning from other organisations, and when we get things wrong, that we do learn, that we're not defensive, and to be alongside them really so that I can understand some of their dilemmas, some of their challenges and try to keep them resilient.
One of the phrases that I've heard a number of times when we talk about medicine is surgeons being on the front line when they're in operating theatres, and I have to say that, forgive me for the sort of obvious link, but never has that been more true than for the speaker we're going to hear next, because she's going to be telling us about the trauma unit at Camp Bastion. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lieutenant Colonel Tanya Kubison.
Whether you've got one patient or whether you've got 7 patients or 12 patients, you've still got the same resource. And you have to work together as quickly and as effectively as you can to get the results you want. So if you think about how your hospital works normally, every now and then you get a new member of staff. They take a while to settle in, they don't know the ropes. You have to show them how we do it. But suddenly, you're all coming in at the same time, and you've got to try and keep that going, and you haven't even got the ability to close the front door for a day or two until everybody gets settled and we've all changed around a bit. So how do we do this? It's all about pre-deployment training. Everybody has to comply with that. You are in the army, you will do what you are told. Therefore, people saying, I don't fancy going to the hospital trainer this afternoon because I'm a bit busy, got private list to do, doesn't actually work anymore. There was no question of whether you wanted to go or not. The general says you will be there, and be there you will. You are in the army, get up there and stop whinging.
We have a footballer now to talk to you. Delighted to say that John Barnes, former England footballer, is here to talk to us. Welcome on stage now, John Barnes.
Thank you very much. The dynamic of the team was the most important thing in terms of the upbringing I had at a club like Watford. Most of you probably don't remember when Watford were the second best team in the country. You may laugh, we finished second to Liverpool. The team is not just the 11 players, not just the 20 players, not just the manager, the coach, the staff, it's also the board of directors, it's also the fans, and everybody should be pulling in the same direction for the success of the team. The centre forward can score 30 goals and he's successful, but his team gets relegated. Has he really been successful? Someone who captures the essence of what teamwork is will see that as failure. Although I've scored 30 goals, the team is not successful, but we're in a game whereby we only win if we all win. And the person who can look at the bigger picture and see that the success in its entirety of the organisation, be it in football whereby the team has to win, not just me scoring lots of goals or saving goals or being man of the match. That for me is what the essence of teamwork and a successful team is.
You know, when you think of a motor racing team, you may think it's 50, 100 people, but actually 550 people work to get our Formula One cars to every Grand Prix on Sunday afternoon. So, the galvanisation process of getting those people together and believing in, what they're doing is hugely important. I need all those people believing in the cause, believing that we can win in Formula One.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much to our panel.
Barcelona has got a youth policy, which means they empower young players coming up to understand how to play in the team of Barcelona. May not have the best players, obviously apart from maybe Messi or one or two, but these players are brought up with a culture of understanding how to play within the team, and that team is Barcelona. So what Barcelona has is they have a vision and a structure in terms of the components of the team, be it the positions, and then these players are then taught to play in those positions. They don't develop great footballers and then putting them into a system and say, you're all great players, you go and play together. The requirements of each player has to fit the pattern of Barcelona.
So those things that you don't know how to do, you learn, but you learn it with your scrub nurse and your anaesthetist and your ODP, so that everybody understands how to do that procedure with the kit you're going to have out there in a situation that you're not expecting. What you learn is about leadership. Now, leadership is not about the standard triangle of the NHS. Consultant who thinks he's in charge but isn't really, yeah? And then the next layer of juniors-ish, and then the next layer, and we kind of feel that we're all in this strict triangle. There's people that are important, and there are people that are really not important, okay? We have to get away from that culture. It's like the Formula One pit stop. Everybody has a job to do. Everybody's job is important. And particularly in the trauma bay, everybody needs to respect everybody else's job.
The team to be successful, everything has to work cohesively. And everyone, more often than not, has to buy into that philosophy. And the great teams do, and the great players do. Thank you.
We're doing a huge amount of work around the mindsets of the people that do work for us in order to change attitudes. We've been a team in a period of decline over the past few years, where people have kind of felt Williams isn't going to turn things around and we're not going to win anything anymore. So for us, building that team back up, building the belief in all those people has been hugely critical to our current success that we are now experiencing on the racetrack.
I would say a good team is in harmony. I love the word harmony, right? When everyone is together going in the same direction, the team is in harmony. And recruiting into that harmony creates the personality of that team.